If you can hear me, just please type something in the chat so I know that everything is working. We are using a new software here to basically stream to multiple places all at once. Seems to be a cool software, and this is the first time we're using it. So bear with us if there are any issues. The goal of this session is to basically give you a plan and give you kind of a mindset to go from $0 to $10,000 a month in revenue. And hopefully by the end of this session, I'll be answering all your questions, and I can put you on the right path to get to where you want to be financially. So if you could just type something in the chat. I don't know what platform you're watching this on. And yeah, thank you very much. We're getting some chat messages from YouTube coming through. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so if you find this useful at the end of the session, hopefully you can tell me, and we will be doing this more often so you can actually get value. And the more we do this, the better the faster you can get to where you want to be financially and in your life. And hopefully I can set you free from financial burden. So yeah, first of all, just tell me what is your goal for the next 3 to 6 months? Let's say 3 months and then 6 months. So what is the goal that you're working on? What would be the ideal thing for you to achieve in the next 3 months? If you could just type that in the chat, that would be absolutely amazing. And then I try to give you a plan to get there. I'm waiting for you to type that in because we have a lot of cool stuff that I want to actually share with you. And by the way, I want to recommend you a book, if I can find it. For some reason, I can't find the book. Try to find it later. But there's a book called Principles. I highly recommend that book. I usually have it around, but for some reason, I can't find it. So somebody on Facebook says, and I can't see your name on Facebook. I think you need to kind of authorize or something. But if you could just write your name as well in the comments that you're leaving, that'd be great, because on this software that I'm using, I can't see your name. Would you like to publish my app in 3 months? Well, that's an amazing goal. Now, let me ask you, what is holding you back? What is holding you back? And that's a very achievable goal, by the way. You can actually publish it in a couple of weeks if you know what you're doing. So what is the number one thing that's stopping you from publishing your app in the next 3 months? Andre, yeah, I know Andre. Yeah, so what is the number one thing that's stopping you from achieving your goal? And yeah, just basically tell me about your goals. We've had only one goal so far in the chat. So tell me about your goals so I can give you a plan to achieve them as soon as possible. And having said that, if writing your goals in the chat is too much work, then probably you're not going to achieve your goals. That's just how life works. So yeah, we have a few people watching. My focus and general life obstacles. Yeah, focus is a big deal, but I mean, building and publishing an app, if you know what you're doing, it shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes a day. So if you can't focus 30 minutes a day, then it's very difficult to actually get to achieve any goal, really. So you need to at least invest 30 minutes a day so you can move towards your goal. In terms of focus, I mean, you can just look at your phone, right? I don't know if you have an iPhone or an Android. You can just look at your phone, go to screen time, see how much time you're wasting on different apps. And if you can take 30, 40 minutes back by using one of those time-wasting apps, then you can easily get it done. And of course, you need instructions for Andre. I think Andre is part of my program. So you have the instructions to basically follow and get there. Uh, Henrik says, how to start. I created one slot game in the past, but the concurrency is too big and I quit. So the problem is with games, and I've talked about this many, many, many times, there is no formula to make apps, make games successful. So with an app, let's say you build an app, you build it around the problem. So if you build your app around an already existing consistent problem for the users, then you're already, like, I would say halfway there, right? But if you build a game, then you're competing with every other game out there, right? No user is going to specifically go and search for your game, because users basically download whatever game shows up on their device, right? Whatever game Google Play recommends. And Google Play usually doesn't recommend a game unless you have a bit of success. And how can you achieve a bit of success off the get-go? You need to put a lot of money in advertising. And you need to have a really good game. So it's very difficult to make them work. I don't recommend them. So building a game is a recipe for failure. If you want to achieve success with apps, build an app around a recurring problem that the users face on daily basis. In fact, if you want to make a ton of money with apps, build an app around the problem that's painful enough for people, that forces them to go to Google or Google Play and search for a solution. So if you build an app for any of those keywords that people put in Google or Google Play to find a solution, then you're golden. But if you build a game, very, very difficult to make it work. I mean, handful of games in comparison to the millions of games being published are actually successful. So I hope that helps you out and it helps you from wasting your resources, especially if you have less than $1 million. I do not recommend building a game. So yeah, hopefully that was useful. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you can actually build a game app, and if you actually need help with building. If you can build a utility app or a problem-based app rather than a game app, and if you need help with it, and what you need help with when it comes to building an app that's basically problem-oriented. So if you need help with that, I can also help you with like what ideas can work best and how to build those ideas and how to monetize them and how to grow your app without putting a lot of effort. So when you go after a problem, it's funny, when you go after a problem and you solve that problem, most of your own problems are going to be solved because you're solving a problem for other people. So yeah, that's how it's going to work, and that's how it's been working for a very long time. Not just for apps, for every single market out there. So yeah, what other questions you guys have? What is holding you back? Like, the goal is to give you a plan to get to $10,000 a month in revenue. So whatever problem you have, just type it into the chat box. It's the easiest return you can get. Just type a few like type up a sentence of what it is that you want to achieve, and I'll give you the answer. I mean, you can go invest $50,000 in an app development agency, and they're not going to give you any advice that's going to actually get you there. How do you monetize the apps? Good question, but I need to have context. What type of app we're talking about and who are the users? So, like, one important thing that I can tell you is this is super important, and this will take you many years to figure out. You're not building an app, you're building a channel to deliver value and a solution to your user base. It's not about the app, it's about the user base. So let me actually bring up the whiteboard. I had a whiteboard open somewhere. Oh, yeah. Just give me a second. I'm going to give you $1 million tip here. Whiteboard is disappeared. Just give me a second. So I want to share my screen. Let's see if we're successful doing this. Can you see my screen now? Make it a bit bigger so it fills up. Yeah, if you can just see my screen, just let me know real quick. So I can draw some stuff for you and basically explain the concept for you. Awesome. So this is your user, right? And they're unhappy, they're in pain, right? That's why they're all red. And I usually like draw like a red circle here. Um, and the idea is that they're gonna find your app, right? This is your app. They're gonna use your app and they're gonna come out on the other side. Can anybody guess? They're gonna come out a happy person because the problem is solved, right? And we draw a green circle. So that's what your app needs to do. You need to take people from a problem state, right? And your app solves the problem for them, and they, on the other side, they're a happy person after using your app. If they're not so happy, if like, let's say the problem is kind of solved, then can you guess what's going to happen? So like if the problem is not solved fully, what the user is going to do? Like if the problem is like halfway solved, they're not kind of happy, but not so happy. What's the next step that the user is going to take? So if your app is not solving the problem for the user fully, and the app is not solving the problem on a consistent basis, absolutely look for other apps. Spot on, right? So if the problem is not solved, then that's when you're going to lose the user and they're going to look for another app or another solution. So the idea is that if you get a user and solve the problem for the user fully, then that user is going to stick with you for a very long time. And guess what? If you're charging a certain amount, right? Let's say you're charging $5, $10 a month for like some premium features or solving the problem for them in a better way, then guess what? That user is going to stick with you for a very long time. One example would be, let's say, some sort of recipe app for a special group of people. So diabetic diet, for example. If you build a recipe app that gives people good recipes and people can like really use it, you can easily ask for $5, $10 a month. And that user, as long as that user is happy and they're getting good recipes, they're going to stick with you, right? So if you fully solve the problem for them, and it doesn't need to be a super complex problem, it needs to be a good solution to the problem that they're having, preferably on a recurring basis, because a recipe is a daily thing or a recurring thing. Now, back to your example. How do you monetize the app? After I explain this, think of it this way. What the problem is, who the user is basically how you monetize people. Because imagine you walk into a shop, right? Or a grocery store. Are you going to pick every single item? Not really. You're going to pick what is like what it is that you need. You don't want to pick everything. But inside your app, we don't have the space and the luxury of having a million different items. So we need to pick those items that fit our user base the best. Sometimes offering an in-app purchase is the best thing to do. Sometimes referring people to an external partner is the best thing to do. Sometimes getting people to take an action, maybe enter their email address and following up with them on email or getting them on a more expensive program is the best thing to do. It depends, right? You need to kind of engineer the user's flow and then take it from there. Otherwise, you are basically wasting the attention that your app is getting. So I hope that makes sense. And if it made sense, just let me know in the chat box so we know. So I know that like I made it clear. It's a common mistake. A lot of people look for tactics and strategies, but you are serving a human being, and you need to think of it and look for it through those eyes. That you are building a product that is for a real human, and you need to solve the problem for that human. And this is not like I'm going to give you $1 million tip. Who wants $1 million tip here? Like literally $1 million tip. Like literally this concept will add $1 million to your app. Yeah, if you implement it correctly, or we'll add $1 million to your net worth if you after you build your app and grow it, right? When you pick a problem, and I talk about this in my program, right? And I talk about like the academy is full of like $1 million app, $1 million tips that will truly like change your life. Um, when you pick a problem to build an app for, go one level higher and think of the person, right? Think of the person that has that issue, and then expand on that person. So, for example, let's say that you're solving a problem for students, right? Student is basically the person that we're trying to help. Student, right? Maybe a high school student, maybe a university student or something. So the problem is like, let's say that they can't remember, like they wanna memorize things. Maybe that's the issue. Now, if you build your app in a way that's like narrow enough that it attracts the right people that have that specific problem, but then you are attracting students, right? Because you've built an app to help students memorize things, but now you have students as your user base. Now you can unlock a million different opportunities to promote different things to your user base. So maybe you have in-app purchase to give them more features, but maybe you can promote other universities, degrees, or other products, or physical products and digital products and all that to your user base, because you know that your user base is basically their students, right? So that's basically the $1 million tip here. If you build an app that solves a problem that's too generic and you don't really know who is using your app that has that issue, then it's going to be a bit more difficult to not to understand the group. But when you take the group approach, then you can plug in a million different offers in your app and monetize it in a million different ways. And you can monetize it for a very long time. So did you get that? Yeah, Mike says that, yeah, wow, that's smart. Yeah, I know, I've paid the price for it. Like all these tips, like an academy is full of these things. Like um, these tips, like took me many years to figure out. Sorry about that. Many years to figure out, and yeah, these are like really valuable, powerful things that you can just a very small change or shift, but it will unlock the gates of the floods of money and results for you. And that's the thing. Like it takes time for people to understand these things, and that's basically why I created the academy, just to basically give people these tips that I learned through many years of trial and error. Um, so yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. I hope that you got this concept, because this is a very powerful concept. This is a very and who here wants another $1 million tip? Something that will blow your mind. And by the way, while I'm explaining these things, just try to write in the chat what it is that's holding you back, so we can overcome those challenges and help you move forward, right? Because the idea of these lives, hopefully I'm going to do more of them, is to basically take out those obstacles and help you move forward towards your goal. So let me give you another $1 million tip that's going to save you years and years and years. Who here knows what this like acronym stands for? Can you tell me what this acronym stands for? Anybody? Lifetime value, absolutely. So, what do we mean by lifetime value? What is this? Like, can anybody explain what this, like, what is lifetime value? Everybody talks about it, but not a lot of people truly understand it. This understanding this concept is everything. Like, everything comes down to this number, really. Everything you do, it's basically increasing the LTV, lifetime value of a customer or a user, right? So, what do we mean by this? I want you to think about this. Actually, in the chat, name a business that you usually buy stuff from. Just drop a name of a business that you usually, basically, you're a customer, or you're a repeat customer. Just type the name. Apple, right? Perfect example. Coke, Apple, right? Amazon, eBay. Like, look at these. It's very interesting. The businesses that we all know are the ones that everybody is a repeat customer of, right? It's very, very interesting. Very interesting, right? You can see the correlation. Like, the businesses that everybody knows are the businesses that everybody buys or is a repeat customer of. And that's basically what LTV is. In fact, I can give you an assignment. Create a spreadsheet or just grab a piece of paper. And next time you buy something from any business that you're a repeat customer of, just write down what you bought and then write down the amount. And then after a year, try to kind of get an idea on how much money you've spent on the with that business. One of the most amazing things about Apple is that they're building these products, and if you think about it, if you buy the Mac or the MacBook, you buy the iPhone, and you buy the AirPods and all that, and if you add all of that up, you're spending quite a bit of money with Apple, right? So the lifetime value of you, it's absolutely insane. Not just because you buy a bunch of stuff that go together, but because you're buying them again and again and again. Like every 3-4 years, you need to renew your stuff. So every single customer for Apple is potentially worth thousands and thousands of dollars. I have friends who have spent 40, 50K in a year with Apple because they're business owners and small business and stuff. So you can see, like, if you have every single customer, on average, the lifetime value of that customer that you're acquiring is thousands of dollars, then, like, just think about it. The power that it would give you, right? To get one single person to buy from you, and then you can just sell them more stuff. Now, this is something that most businesses and startups and app owners and people in business, they don't understand fully. If you know your LTV and you know how much money you can make from for each user that you're getting, then that's where the real gold is. And I actually coach people to calculate this number before they even start building their app. So the idea is to kind of get an idea on how much you can make from every single user before you even build the app. And when you do your market research, which is something I basically teach people in the academy, then like you would know which idea you need to build in terms of like the lifetime value of your users, which is a very, very powerful and important thing. And guess what? People who don't do these things, they're not going to get any results. So I hope that you found this useful. It's a very basic concept. It takes people a lifetime to truly understand. Very interesting in how I can reduce the risk of the app failing. Yeah, good question, actually. You know what's the best way to reduce the probability of failure? Just give me some guesses in the chat, by the way. What is the best way to reduce the probability of failure? I just want to know if you guys can see it. Super, super important and powerful. It's something that you definitely, and not a lot of people know about this, but there is one single activity that will reduce the probability of failure by probably 500 times, maybe more actually. Just think, what is one activity that will reduce the good UX, user experience? No. Give me other guesses. Try to make sure you're solving a problem. Very good, Mike. Very good. Very close. It's still not exactly what I have in mind, but a good guess. Marketing? No, it's not marketing. Mike got it kind of close, very close, but not 100%. Like it's an activity. It's an activity ensures your success at the highest, with the highest probability. Think about it a little bit. I really want you to think about it, because one of the reasons that one of the biggest things that helped me to figure these things out, just as a tool, it's a kind of a mental tool. Let's say we can put it that way. Is the ability to think about these concepts in a deeper way. Mike says adding value. No, it's not adding value. It's an activity. If you master this activity, then the probability of failure is going to be almost zero. Yeah, in many cases, actually zero. Think. I want you guys to think, really think about this. What is one activity that will reduce your probability of failure? And nobody talks about this. This is funny, right? Because everybody talks about building apps and ideas and growing companies and marketing and ads and promotion, but nobody really talks about this particular activity. And you can go on YouTube and search, and you wouldn't be able to find anybody making videos about it. I will probably make, I've already made a lot of content about this inside the academy, but in the future, I'm planning on releasing a bit of content about it, because nobody talks about it, and it's the most important thing ever when it comes to reducing the probability of failure. Henrik says feedback from the users. Kinda, but not really. I mean, it's part of it, but it's not exactly what I have in mind. Do survey and really understand your audience pain points, solving a specific problem. You guys are on the right path, but I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer is market research. When you become the master of market research, you can calculate the probability of your app's success before even building it. And the better you get at market research, the faster and easier you can build an app that's going to get you results very quickly in a very short time. So does it make sense? And who here, like, just type in the chat for me, who here has spent any time learning market research? It's kind of fascinating that nobody talks about this. Like in all the business communities and happy business opportunities, and like nowhere you see people like actually talk about market research and understanding a market before even building an app for it, which is absolutely insane to me. So it's absolutely insane, right? You can see that like one of the most important basically parts of the process, which is doing market research. It's just like nobody talks about it, and nobody really puts any effort and energy in it, which is absolutely insane, because it's like you are trying to build a business. Think of it this way: you're trying to build a business, but you're building it. You don't know if you're building a business in the middle of the desert, or you're building a business on this like the busiest street in the middle of, like, let's say, Sydney. You don't know it. You just randomly go about it, right? That's what market research is. You're basically calculating the probability of your success, or the probability of you getting customers, and plus like calculating your LTV. That's what you're doing. And a lot of people just build a business randomly anywhere. And the tricky bit is that, like, when you do stuff online, it's not like that you're going somewhere and you're seeing the land that you're building your business on. We don't have any obvious sign that, okay, this is a good place to build a business, or this is a bad place to build a business. We're just like building a business randomly. Like, I built a lot of apps or a lot of businesses without doing market research, and they all fail. You know why? Because when you learn market research, you will learn that out of 10, 15 apps that you do research for, or ideas that you do research for, one actually has merit. And the chances are that you're going to go through 5, 6, 7 before you hit that one. And majority of people quit before hitting that, like, the winner idea. And you would be amazed, the better you get at market research, the quality of your ideas will also go up. So if you haven't done any market research and you're not good at it, then guess what? Your ideas are going to suck. And then when you learn market research and you actually do it for the ideas that you come up with, you see that you haven't really had a lot of good ideas. But when you do market research and learn it, then you'd see that, like, you can spot opportunity in the marketplace. That's another $1 million tip, by the way. And let me know if that was helpful, if that was an eye-opening or an aha moment for you. Because at the end of the day, building the app is an easy process. Easy, you can get it done. Designing, building, getting users, all of those things, kind of easy if you've done your market research right. If you haven't done any market research, then you're going to have a very tough time getting users, which is going to make it very tough for you to kind of get good talent later on down the road and really build an app that you can sell for a lot of money. But if you do the market research right, you're getting users from day one, you're going to be making money, you get resources coming through the app, and then you can grow it very quickly. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, market research is basically God when it comes to building an app that actually works. Just doing market research and figuring out what it is that people want. So let me know what else is what else is on your mind, and like what it is that you need help with. Just let me know in the chat what is holding you back. And I hope that you guys are finding it useful. Like the content that I'm sharing with you here, it's not very exciting and hypey, and not a lot of people are talking about this, and this is what will actually make you successful. How much do you invest to build your app? I wouldn't recommend investing more than $500 in building an app, because you're risking too much, especially if you're not good with market research. So you should be able to get your app done and get it out on the store for the initial kind of release for less than $500. You can go up to $1,000, but then yeah, it depends. If you've done really good market research and you're like really certain, then you can go up to $1,000. I think that I have some market research. One time before creating my first app, but not the way you're teaching. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, not a lot of people explain market research, unfortunately, and the problem is that like when you like market research is one of those things that you need to get a feel for it. Inside my academy, I basically teach the process, and you need to go through the process probably for 40, 50 ideas. And after 40, 50 ideas, you kind of um, create this kind of mindset, if we can call it that, or this feeling that that would basically show you or tell you, like it's kind of a gut feeling after seeing 40, 50 apps or ideas, market research results, that you get this feeling that like then you'd be able to see the potential, because every time you do market research it's a bit different, so it kind of gives you that feeling, like after 40, 50 ideas that you've done research for, it gives you that like kind of gut feeling, if that makes sense. So if you haven't done it, huge issue. If you haven't done it the right way, following the right process, that's also a massive issue, especially for apps, because for apps, market research is a bit different. Where do you find these developers? Well, it's not about where do you find them. You can find them anywhere. It's about how do you get them, and how do you kind of like manage them and get them and motivate them, and most importantly, qualify them. So you basically need to kind of get them to do the project for you in a very cheap way, and then you can also not also you should also like take them through the qualification process, so you pick the right people to do the work, if that makes sense. And by the way, for today and tomorrow, you can book a call with me if you want to basically if you're interested in my programs, and if you want to kind of get to know how I help people, or learn about how I help people and how I mentor people. I'm doing a few calls today and tomorrow. I've opened up my calendar. I personally get on a call. The call is free. I'll get on a call with you if you are qualified. We have a partner program, and you can go to the link that shows on the screen, and book a free call with me personally. I'll jump on a short 20-minute call with you, talk to you a little bit, just to understand what your goals are and if you're a good fit for my program. I have a partner program that actually partner with you. So it's a pretty cool program that we've put together, and I give you all the resources you need to do market research and build the app, publish it, and grow it in a very short way. So if you're interested, you can go to that link and book a call. Again, I've opened up my calendar for today and tomorrow morning, and you can just book a call if you are interested. So yeah, let me know about the other questions that you might be having, so we can answer them all for you and set you on the right path to get results with your app. So yeah, tell me what other questions you have and what's holding you back. And also make my screen a little bit smaller, the whiteboard. I think that would look nicer. Yep. What are the basics of the partner program? Well, I'll give you all the tools, resources, and strategies and techniques that I've learned throughout the years. And you build your app, and basically that's how it works. And we have and you pay a 5% revenue share of your first year's earning, and then after a year you own your own app and everything is yours. Just like there's a small upfront investment, because I don't want to waste my time with time wasters and people who are not committed. So you make a very small investment upfront, build the app. I help you, coach you, do everything the right way, build the app, publish it. And for the first year, I'll take 5% of your app's revenue. And after a year, you get like you still own your app, and from the second year, you own everything. Like you don't even pay the 5%. My last 3 apps, and that has been holding me back. How do I get over this? If you're an app owner, it's best to like I have a higher level program which is for app owners. I don't know, like book a call. Just book a call, Mike. I'll talk to you. People who own an app, they're a bit of like a special case. I need to basically talk to them and kind of get a sense on if I can help them. And how I can help them, actually. I also have like a mastermind that I run here in Sydney. In fact, I have a garden upstairs that I sometimes use for the masterminds. It's a pretty, like I live on the beach, and sometimes we do masterminds, and a lot of people show up for the in-person events, and we have like coaching and stuff happening here. So for app owner, but that's for people who are making a ton of money with their apps. So it's best to book a call, and we'll talk together, and we'll see. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any other questions. We are here, so we might as well answer as many questions as we can, and make sure to book a call, because I've opened my calendar for today and tomorrow. So take advantage of these calls. Basically the help that you'll be getting over the call, it's going to be. Sorry, I just need to. Sorry about that. So yeah, what other questions you guys have? Just type them up in the chat so we can go over them. By the way, I've got a question for you. Why building an app is better than building any other type of asset? Eric says my mind is unlocked. Start research about apps for crypto market. Yeah, crypto market is also another segment of the market that has quite a bit of potential. If you do market research properly for that market, there's massive potential. Where do I book a call? Can you please put the link back on the screen, Melvin? Melvin is my assistant. He's going to put the link back on the screen for you guys. Yeah, that's the URL that you need to go to book a call. And you just need to answer a few questions, and you can book a call. So yeah, why building an app is the best type of asset that you can possibly build. The investment is lower and scalable easily. Yeah, that's a good answer. What else? Maybe app business have a fast turnaround. Yeah, that's also a good answer. There's so many reasons. So many reasons. So let me ask you this. What other business models you guys are thinking about? So of course, if you're here, you're interested in making money and like building a business. What other opportunities you guys are thinking about? Like, what are things you're considering? Let's just like go through every single IP opportunity that you hear about these days. I'm pretty sure that you guys have been like considering some of them. Just write it in the chat. What other hypey business opportunity you guys are thinking about? Real estate, right? So compared to real estate, you can build an app for less than $1,000. It can make you more money than what real estate would make you on a monthly basis. And the app itself will also jump up in value. Like if you build an app that makes you $5,000 a month, you can easily sell that app for a few $100,000. So it basically destroys the real estate investment in terms of like the return that you'll be getting and the initial capital required to invest to get started. Considering an app development company, not a bad idea. You can charge people a lot of money. In fact, a lot of app development agencies are ripping people off like 50K, 100K, 150K to build apps for them. The best part is that for people who partner with me and people who basically follow my instructions, they can build apps that are being sold for like 150K here in Sydney through agencies. Stocks, I mean, you need a lot of money and a lot of time to get results. Other than that, it's a waste of time. It's hype. I mean, just listen to what Warren Buffett says, right? You need time and you need capital. Now, there's also not like, and also like other types of assets. Like, let's say what other types of digital assets are out there. So just tell me about some of other types of digital assets that exist that people are kind of like very excited for, hypey, they're being promoted quite a lot. Can you name some of those digital assets? NFT, right? NFT, that's another hype thingy. The thing is, like, you want a consistent way that is under your control, right? So you want something that like you can follow the process and you can get results, and it's something that like it's not something that just randomly goes up and down and like it's not under your control. You need to be in control if you want to grow. That's just how it is. And with apps, there's a process. You build something, it has value, you can sell it to a bigger company for a lot of money. Every time you do it, you get better at it, and it's under your control. You're not at the mercy of some random marketplace to define your net worth. Could it be a good investment long term if you spend $100 and you make, I don't know, $1 million later on? Yeah, if you get returns like that, definitely do it. But it's not something reliable that can kind of support your life in a meaningful way. Crypto trading, another. 2017, I was in Holland. I was in the Netherlands, and everybody was trading crypto, and it's just like it's not sustainable. It's not something that you can rely on, right? It's just not the thing that you want to build a life on, and it's not something reliable. If you invest in it long term, same with stocks, right? Basically, crypto is the new stock trading. It's a new forex trading. If you just can invest something and leave it and not worry about it and kind of like invest in a way that even if you lose it, it doesn't really matter. Perfect, go for it. But in a way to make a living, I mean, this is another problem that I have with short-term stock trading. Even if you make the best decision today, the chances are that you're going to make a bad decision tomorrow. So all the effort that you put in, you're basically an employee. Best case scenario, you're going to make a little bit of money. I haven't seen anybody doing that, except like just buying a little bit of crypto, holding it long term, and like hype and bubble going up. That's not really a smart way of making money. But you want to invest your time in something that kind of accumulates and pays off long term. You do a trade today, you learn nothing. Oh, you had a successful trade. Tomorrow you need to make another decision, and we know as humans we're really bad at making good decisions. So that's the problem with crypto trading. You're not learning anything. You're giving up your time. Best case scenario, you have a job, right? And then you need to like the amount of pressure that it has on your that it puts on you, and then the results that you're getting is really minimal. I mean, you build an app for a very small amount of money, you sell it to a bigger company for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Show me returns like that anywhere else. So I hope that made sense. I hope that saves you for years of effort and like waste of time. It used to be Forex. Forex was the thing before crypto. Everybody was like, everybody's after free money, right? Free, easy money. Everybody wants it. No one gets it. Yeah, I hope that you find this information useful. I mean, like I've paid the price to learn these things, and I hope that it saves you a ton of time. So yeah, make sure to book a call, guys. Like if you're interested, uh, I mean, the best. I want to actually give you another tip. There are only two ways that you can generate revenue or make money. Let's say it's either trading your time or building an asset that the asset produces money. There's no other way, right? Yeah, inheritance and all that. We're not talking about that. So time, it's basically a job. You put in your time, you get paid for it for an hourly amount. Now, what do we mean by a job really? You go get a job, that's a job. Consulting, you consult people for a set amount, that's a job, right? Coaching, that's a job. It's basically you're getting paid for a certain amount of time that you're giving up. That's what you do. You can take the same amount of time that you have available to you and turn it into an asset. So you transform the time that you have and you turn it into an asset. Now the question is, let's actually choose a color. What type of assets are out there? So one type of asset is you build a brick and mortar business, like a local business, right? Like a restaurant. You sink probably like 50, 100K. You will be making 2-3% maximum per year. How do I know that? I have friends who own restaurants. Like a good restaurant, a luxury restaurant, you're lucky if you make 2% a year profit. 2%. So if you're making $1 million in revenue, you're making 20K. That's crazy stuff. What are the other forms of building an asset? Real estate, right? Well, we all know how that works. You need to have massive capital. And then the rents that you're going to get on your property is very small. In fact, this $1 million apartment that I'm in, the rent on it is basically negligible. People are just waiting for the price to go up. And that's a long-term play. And if you don't have a mortgage. So yeah, you're paying the interest on your mortgage usually. So I don't know. It's not the best investment for what you put in, for the amount of money that is required and the time and effort that you need to put in. What else is there? What other type of assets? Well, digital assets, right? So actually, let's do this way. Digital assets. We call these digital assets. Now, let me know what type of digital assets are out there. There are multiple types of digital assets. Just tell me in the chat what type of digital assets do you think are like basically that you can build. Just let me know quickly in the chat. I want to know if you can come up with a few digital asset examples. Games, videos, services, that's true. Services are not a digital asset. Basically, services what you deliver through the service itself is not an asset. That's what I mean. So NFTs, yeah, good point. So let's say video. right? Anything visual or video. This could be a course, right? This could be a YouTube video. YouTube. Anything along those lines is basically a digital asset, right? Then we have like text, written digital assets. Text, like books, right? Or blogs. Books, blogs, you get the idea. And then we have the audio type of assets, which is like a podcast, which is like audiobooks, let's say. And then we have software that has logic to it and solves a problem. Now, I want you to think about this. You write a book, right? People read the book once, and then they go away. They read the book. Let's say that you want to solve. This is very interesting. This is $1 million tip. I have a lot of $1 million tips, I know. Let's say that you have an app that solves. Give me a problem. Give me a problem that you think that an app can solve. Let's say I use this example quite often: crying baby overnight, right? Baby's crying overnight. You have the problem. You need to solve it. You can go buy a book. It could be an audio book. It could be an ebook. It could be a Kindle book, whatever it is. It could be a course, even a video course, or a YouTube video, any of these other types of digital assets. You buy it, or you watch it, or you listen to it, you read it once, and you go away. But if you get an app that plays white noise for your baby, you use it tonight, you use it tomorrow night, you use it a month from now. Do you see the difference? If you see the difference, let me know in the chat. Because see, everything leads to everything else. Now, you have high LTV. Because people are using your app more often, then you can show them more things so they can buy more things. Do you see it? Like, let's compare it to, like, let's say a YouTube channel. A lot of people talk about YouTube. You need to make 100 videos for somebody to log into your channel and watch your videos 100 times. You just build one app and they can use it every day for a year. It's just one app that does something for them over and over again. Do you get the idea? Did you have an aha moment? If you do, let me know in the chat, because what I just told you, it's a very powerful concept. So you see why software is the best form of digital assets. Because you build it once and your users can use it over and over again, the same thing that you've built. But write a book, people read it once and they go away. Make a video, you need to make another one to get them back. But with software, build it once, people can use it over and over and over again. That's one advantage of a software. And what is the most popular form of software now? Mobile apps, right? That's one thing. What is the second thing? Let's say you write an ebook, right? It's in English, whatever language. Then you need to get it translated to reach another audience. And translating a book is pretty costly. Or your YouTube videos, pretty much like in the language that you made them in. It's very hard to get them translated. So it's very difficult to reach other markets. With apps, you have a few words. Like even the most sophisticated app, you probably can get the entire app translated for less than $50. You have just a few words and buttons and features, and you can just get it translated for super cheap. And then you translate it, and it's a bunch of text. You plug it into your app. You update your store listing for different languages, and suddenly you have an asset that creates value automatically on a recurring basis for a new market. Do you get that? Did you understand what I just explained? Because the money is not just building the app, the money is in these strategies that you stack on top of each other to basically get massive results. Cool. Just make sure to book a call, you guys, because I have another call coming up very soon that I need to get off this test live session that we did. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, the partner program is basically you get the Zero to App Academy and all that inside the partner program. So make sure to book a call if you're interested. I'll get on a call with you today or tomorrow and talk to you, help you a little bit, just to get a sense if you're the right fit to become a partner. And I give you all the tools and systems that I've learned throughout the years. And as you can see, by just talking to you, I can help you a ton by just giving you the right advice that works for you at that moment. And the Academy is full of advice that I just gave you here. So just make sure to go to the URL you see on the screen, zerotoapp.com/call. Make sure that the link is working and book a call. You need to answer a few questions. Just want to actually make sure that the link is working properly. So yeah, it seems to be working just fine. Book a call. You need to answer a few questions. Basically, I need to get a sense of like your experience, your age, and also give me tell me a little bit about your goals. And book a call. I would love to get on a call with you today, the rest of today and tomorrow. And I would help you with whatever it is that you want to achieve. And we will see if you are a good fit for the partner program as well. The partner program will save you years and will put you ahead of everybody else, and it will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in trial and error. So it's the perfect solution if you're interested in building an app and creating wealth through building apps. So yeah, make sure to book a call. I don't want to be repeating myself, and I find it annoying when I just say the same thing over and over again. So if you're interested, book a call. I'd love to jump on a call with you. That's it, basically. Let me know if you have any other questions. We have another 15 minutes, I think. I can't even see my clock. Yeah, 15 minutes before we get off this live call. And let me know if you want me to do more of these calls, like more of these live sessions, if this is something that you think I should do more of. And it would be also interesting to tell me where you're watching this from. Are you watching this from YouTube, from Facebook? I mean, I can see the icons, but it would be interesting, because we have the Facebook group, we have the Facebook page, and that'd be also interesting to see, because I can see some people are from Facebook. Yeah, some of the time zones are very tricky to make them work. I mean, I live in Sydney, so we need to make it work for as many people as we can. Yeah, we try to kind of do it at different times, but mostly we can support either Sydney time zone or the US time zone. It's very, very difficult to support the European time zone. Cool, you guys. So basically, try to book your call as soon as possible, because I'm going to close the calendar when we get off this call. I don't want I want to get a sense of how many people I'm going to be having calls with today and tomorrow, because I also have other meetings that I need to kind of sort out for today and other things that I need to take care of. So if you're on the fence on booking a call, book a call right now before I close the calendar. Otherwise, you would be missing out. And yeah, you can either book a call for like later today or tomorrow morning. So if you do that, that'd be good. And I think this style of having like the whiteboard showing here like half of the screen and the other half I'm talking, I think that's a nice way of doing these calls. Cool. So yeah, I think that's it. If you guys don't have any other questions, just we can end this session and hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to book your call before I close my calendar. And looking forward to talking with you and helping you achieve your goals in the next few weeks. So basically, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be talking to you later. Cheers. Bye.